Market power is a reflection of the fact that not all markets are perfectly competitive. In a market that is perfectly competitive, sellers are price takers and should sell their product at the exact price that everyone else is selling at. Any higher, and this would lead to them losing all of their customers. This is not the case in the real world, where most markets have some degree of imperfection and competition. In these markets, some sellers have more power than others. In these markets, which are called monopolies if one seller has complete market power, and oligopolies if market power is shared between few sellers, it may be beneficial for a company to charge higher amounts provided they have a lot of market power. To determine whether a company has market power or not, they may attempt to sell their product at different prices at different times or locations in order to see how this affects their sales. How many sales a specific seller makes at a given price graphed out is referred to as a firm demand curve. If it is relatively steep or inelastic, this means that price changes will barely affect the amount sold, like the graph on the right. This means that the seller has large amounts of market power. When this occurs, price can be set greater than the competitive price, and quantities sold will be below the competitive quantity. The opposite is true for a seller whose firm demand curve is relatively flat, like the graph on the left. These groups have much less market power. When a seller with great market power is selling, they look to set the price where their own marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, and then they go directly up from that point and set the price along the demand curve, like where the red dot is set here. Rather than what other groups who have equal and less market power have to do, where they have to set the value at the competitive value where price intercepts marginal cost. When groups with high amounts of market power do this, this leads to higher prices and fewer items sold. To investigate this concept further, let's examine the practices of Ticketmaster in the US. Since the effects of the pandemic began to wane, demands for concert tickets have surged dramatically. Ticketmaster is a huge player in the market for ticket sales, as they are responsible for 70% of primary ticketing, that is, the first sale of a ticket. Ticketmaster in recent months has been roundly criticized for ticket prices for some of the largest tours of 2022, namely artists like Taylor Swift and Drake. Since Ticketmaster has such a dominant hold on the supply of these tickets, they can effectively charge whatever price they'd like and turn over a huge profit. Say, in the case of this graph, they can set the price to where their marginal cost intercepts their marginal revenue and set the point exactly around this area directly up onto the firm demand curve. Sure, they may sell a few less tickets by hiking prices way beyond their actual value, but this effect is nothing compared to the gains they will make from the countless people who are still willing to pay. This shows just how much market power Ticketmaster has in the sale and the market of concert tickets.